Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, happy Monday, everybody. Christmas is on Wednesday. I'm here at my mom's, obviously, with all the fabric in the background. So you guys listening
Did
to
you
Author
get up and
Talk.
leave early this morning?
No, I left on Friday. But you guys
Oh.
are on Author Talk with me, Amy, Valerie, Russell, and Sandy's joining us.
Woo!
Oh my
Merry
gosh.
Christmas.
I know, you guys. It's just a Christmas get together. I don't get to see you guys in person for Christmas, so that's what today's
It's a
about.
Festive miracle.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
And
Ho,
we're
ho,
airing
ho.
grievances today.
Grievance.
Grievances.
I don't know
Yes.
if I have any.
Russell does.
Don't worry, I have some for you.
Okay.
The
Okay.
forest. Okay. All right. Well, let's just dive in. I came in on Friday, so you guys know. So my grandmother, my dad's mom, was in town visiting. So my uncle's birthday was Saturday. He turned 70 and he wanted to come down and see my dad. So we all came down and saw them. They went back to Shreveport, Louisiana on Sunday morning. But it was my girls got to meet their great grandmother, which was kind of cool. And we all
Oh,
took
yeah.
photos. And we have a cookie exchange. And
Awesome.
in my family on Christmas Eve, we would watch Christmas Vacation. We would open matching PJs, go Christmas light looking, and we would watch Christmas Vacation. And so for the cookie exchange, you're supposed to, Russell, I'm ignoring you, Russell. So we had a cookie exchange. So we used to do like a girls' cookie day, and my mom and all of us, because my mom had 4 daughters, we all would get in the kitchen and cook. My dad would watch football or he would leave, and we would just all spend time together. And so, as we got older, we all had our own kids. It was harder to get together. So we did a cookie exchange this year. We were supposed to bring our favorite cookies. Well, I got nominated by a lot of my sisters and my mom to bring. I have a cookie lady for the girls' birthday. Sandy was there, and they're decorated nice sugar cookies. And so those are my favorite cookies. They're the ones I don't have to bake, and they look fabulous. So I got Christmas Vacation sayings on these cookies. Like, are you serious, Clark? All of those shitters
It's
full.
it's Christmas and we're all supposed to be miserable.
No, I didn't get that one. I got like the
That's
shitters
my
full.
favorite one.
What is it? I got the holy, what is it? Hallelujah, holy shit, where's the Tylenol? Just all the funny ones, right? Is the
Look,
ones that I
Rusty,
got
she
on there.
doesn't have any marks.
Oh, no.
That's a
But
good one too.
I know. But why is the carpet all wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot. I got those, just the funny sayings, liven it up. And so Josh was giving me hell because I didn't bake these cookies. But we had a whole, like my mom's whole dining table full of cookies and fudge. And then my granny, who is 100% Italian, was making Italian cookies and fudge, all this stuff. And so it was just a lot of fun. We have like 2 full plates of cookies to take home. And so we got to come down and do that. My daughters
I'm
have a
getting
slumber
hungry.
party.
I know. I want to come next time. I'll bring cookies.
There you go. Come on down. Bake cookies and come on down and have
You're
some.
literally down the road, Amy. I could be there in no time.
Yeah, I'm telling you. So,
I
and then
think I think this story should last longer.
no, and then Russell, shut your mouth, Russell. And then my daughters did a cousin sleepover at my oldest sister's house, and so
Of
she has
course.
teenagers now. So they partied it up, had fun, all kinds of stuff. And I was like a deer in headlights. I didn't know what to do. My kids weren't with me. Me and Josh were trying to figure out. We're like, well, what do we want to do? Because we usually have to like rally the troops and stuff. And then the fact that we didn't have to get anyone out of the car except for ourselves, I was at a loss. I was like, what is this? But
You go to a grown-up restaurant where it's not a drive-through and you get to sit down and eat a meal in silence.
I
I mean,
did
not
do
silence,
that.
but just in peace.
I know. You're not interrupted. I know. I did.
Yeah.
I did do that. I went, and just walked around. There's more shops here, obviously, than there are in Bryan. So, I did get to do some of that. Now I'm at my mom's. Josh is working out because he's wanting to join Russell. Maybe you know this. He's wanting to join the 1,000-pound club. Yeah, I know that's the exact same look all of y'all have on your face that I had. And what it is he can deadlift, bench, and squat, and they all tally up to 1,000 pounds.
Okay, that would be really good, but you need to say, Josh, I got bad news for you. You're not 25 anymore.
No, I know.
Nobody's going to
You have like 15 kids and you got to work. So
You
maybe
can't get
we
too
need to
injured. No
just
injuries.
moderate. You moderate this. You need to quit panicking about becoming an old man and settle down.
Well, to be fair, he is only like 20 pounds away from it, to be fair.
Oh wow.
So,
And
so he's
how old
trying
is
to figure out how old is Josh?
He's
So
not, he's only
Josh,
30.
he turned 30 in July.
Mhm.
See, I mean, he's not even 30 years old, Russell.
He
got
still
lots
wants
of
to go
time.
hike 30 miles because he's 30 and he wants to hike 30
Yeah,
miles.
but that's very cool, by the way.
He wants to do that before the end of
I
the year.
get that. I get that.
Yeah, so that's also on his bucket list. But whatever. We have different goals, and I'm like, I just want to go to Target in peace. Like that's my goal. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my
I
whole.
thought you wanted to go to Hawaii.
I
Oh,
do. I also want
I
to
do
do
too.
that, but Josh is gonna make me hike that thing. But they keep closing it because somebody was missing the other day, and then
Somebody was missing, and he wants to go
Yeah.
there to go hiking.
But then
Well, yeah, Amy and Josh aren't idiots, so they'll be fine.
we're not gonna go missing. But where the rapids are, or like the waterfalls, right? You have to time it because they can just kind of escalate quickly when you're coming back. And so I haven't dived it. It's not that bad. I haven't dived into it like that. Yeah, I'm not really worried about that. I'm like, whatever, I'll just sit and wait it out. But anyways, I'm gonna get there eventually, Russell. I'm gonna get there eventually.
Have you guys seen the video of when Josh proposed to her? They're on like this up above the waterfall where one little inch, one way or another, they could have fallen.
It really wasn't that bad. It was
I'll tell you, this is as long as that cookie story I had to listen to.
Russell, you know what I'm dying for, Russell? I'm dying to see what your matching PJs look like. I think
Oh, yeah.
We're going for the throw, right?
We're going for the jugular, man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They are here because we're in Houston, right? I am 2 days from awful day.
Awful day.
It's not even 2 days. It's tomorrow.
No, tomorrow's
Christmas
Eve.
Day is when he's wearing them.
Oh, you don't wear them Christmas Eve on the night?
No, no, they're going to be thrown away afterwards. She gets one shot.
One shot. Okay.
So I decided not to show them to you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I do remember the proposal picture. I don't know if I remember the video of Josh proposing to Amy, but I remember that it was on a big site. It was like a big mountain.
Yeah.
Well, it was on what appeared to be a cliff.
Yeah, it really wasn't a cliff, but
it looked like a long way down to the bottom.
But it was a great shot.
And by the way, it is a long way down to the bottom.
I had to hike up it.
Take it from this divorce attorney. It's a long way down.
I had to hike up that damn thing. I know. And I was pissed the whole time at him.
Let's start working out, Amy. That's not that big a deal.
And she still said yes.
Yeah, that was like 9 years ago. Russell, you are deflecting, Russell. You have to show us. No deflecting.
Okay, this is awful. The story is that I have been blackmailed into one of the worst things that I could do, and that's to wear matching Christmas pajamas, which is just a nightmare. And here they are.
Those are nice.
They're awful. They're red.
It could have been a lot worse.
It could have been a onesie, man, with the elf hood or a reindeer hood or something.
I thought they were going to be like dark navy blue so I could like get through it with some dignity, but there is no chance.
Russell, you're going to look so spiffy, man. I'm so excited for that photo. You're going to look
You're not going to have a photo. There will be no photos. If I
yes,
can
there
help
will. There's going to be so many photos.
We're all laughing because we know that there's going to be a photo.
I know, and I have no hope that there won't be because I have a hateful wife, and I know my daughter is just as mean.
What you know? What you can put some sunglasses on and cool it up, and just
No, that is just acting like I like it.
But
That's
with that beard and the way, I mean, it looks really good. It's grown into really nice. You got it. That would look great with
it
Christmas
doesn't
on.
look good. It's awful.
Wait, were they still in the package? Did you even
Yeah.
unpack them?
I have not unpacked them yet
So
because
they might
it's too
look good. You
gross.
don't know.
No, I do know. We all know it's funny, and that's why we're talking about it because it's funny because I'm going to look ridiculous.
He's against the whole team match thing. Okay,
Yeah,
he's not a
I
team
don't
player.
do
Team match.
team stuff. I don't do team stuff.
I love
So
it, though. It's a good one.
we do need to talk about our weekends. I know Valerie was probably at a book show, weren't you?
No. Last week
You
was
weren't
the
at a
last
book
of that.
show?
You had
That
the
was the last of
weekend
that
off,
nonsense.
Val.
My
Yeah.
story. Go ahead, Val.
Oh, sorry. I just tamale making yesterday. I went to a drag queen brunch yesterday with my mom friends, which was so fun in downtown Houston. And then what else did I do? Oh, and then Friday night we went to the Texas Winter Lights at the Marriott Marquis, which was freezing, but it was so beautiful. And Saturday, what did I do Saturday? I lost
What
track.
was going on there, Val? I didn't know.
The Texas Winter Lights. It's a big light show. And you're on the roof of the Marriott Marquis where they have the Texas lazy
Right.
river. So that was fun, but it was very cold outside. But
I
we had
miss
great
watching
time.
that
was
from
the
my
coolest
apartment.
thing.
Yeah, I could have seen Russell. There were so many people. What's so cool about that is you can see all of downtown, and there was a lot of people ice skating. But
I miss watching that from my apartment.
yeah, downtown
too.
at Discovery Green, and then what did I do Saturday? What's so funny? I can't even remember what I did Saturday, but I think it was like very non-eventful, just not a big deal. But yes, Sunday, yesterday was the drag queen brunch, which was a Christmas theme. So we had the best time, and it was like you were there for 2 hours, and everybody came out and just singing all these different renditions. We had two friends that were their birthdays, and it's just friends we've known since my youngest son was in kindergarten. So 15 years that we've known all these friends. So it was a great time. And then tamales, we didn't get home until like late yesterday because we were making tamales and eating tamales, and we have a whole freezer of tamales.
You made the tamales,
My mother-in-law, and then the kid. We had all the kid labor.
Nice.
I know, kid labor is great.
Making tamales is a lot of work.
Yeah, they made. I don't even know. I think 3 varieties or something like that. But and tomorrow is cookie day. Tomorrow I've got all the cookie dough made, and we're doing the gingerbread and the cutouts, and that's good.
Wow.
I can't believe I'm having to go through another cookie story.
Another cookie. We haven't done it yet. There's no cookie store yet. Just made the dough.
He didn't get any cookies. That's what he's jealous of because he didn't.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing.
In our family, my daughter-in-law that lives in Austin makes the cookies every year. She makes them for their company clients, and they have an open house kind of thing. And then she brings them over here, and she's always looking at new recipes, and so the rest of us don't do anything. We just eat the cookies. So
yeah,
but I do like the idea of a thing or something. Because I like making cookies too. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that is a good story. I like that.
Yeah, and we're not pro status. We're just like, did they come off the counter? Did they look okay? Are they edible? That's good. It's good.
There you go. Yeah.
We have a lot of fun. Everybody takes turns making their own batch. So whatever.
Even better.
Yeah.
Sandy, you have a new ugly sweater on.
Yes.
This is my old one from last year, actually. But
I like your old ones. You have a lot of old ones. They're all beautiful.
All we see is ho-ho, Sandy. We don't see anything else. I just see ho-ho.
I know, but it's really ho-ho.
Is it a reindeer?
No.
I love it. I have Snoopy. We have Snoopy.
Isn't that Mr.
Dogs and
Winky?
cats on this show.
Mr. Winky?
I don't know who he is, but it's a sweater I've had. I don't even know where I got it.
I love it, though.
I think it's Mr. Winky.
That's a great one.
From South Park.
And I always save these for the author talk, and I can say Russell.
I love them. So I got to tell you, let's talk books for a second, but I want to thank the people that are listening to us on our podcast. No, this is not our usual podcast where we have an author, because that's what we do
Well, we
usually.
do have authors. We have you and Dolly.
Yeah, but I mean new authors
New
that we're
authors.
introducing, and but this is kind of our Christmas holiday show, and uh, you can get us just about anywhere now. Amy, where do they find us?
Yeah.
And did you know that we have not been asking people to subscribe to us on their favorite podcast channel? We should start doing that.
And leave a comment.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
If
god.
it's a
right.
nice comment, I don't want any rude
I'll
comments.
take mean ones. I'm okay with it. I'm all
It's
right.
the same algorithm of that.
I can handle it. No, so you can find us anywhere that you can find a podcast. Look for a podcast. My go-to is Amazon, of course, Spotify, Good Pods. There's other ones out
YouTube.
there. Yeah, YouTube. If you want to see us visually, go to YouTube. There's other ones out there. Type in Author Talk. Look for the crimson red and gold, and it's crimson red one because Roll Tide. I'm an Alabama fan. Red's my favorite color.
The road tide.
The deeper the red, the better, and gold, like, because why not? So, but Russell can find us. So now anybody can find us. Yes, go Cougs. They're red too. Yes. But on top of that, if you want to see us and see Russell give me dirty looks when I go overtime, or the looks that he gives
Which we
me,
have no chance not to go overtime
don't
today.
know. You don't know. Or, just the looks that he gives me when he talks about my 15 children when I only have 2. So go over to our YouTube channel. You can subscribe and follow us over there. Our social media channels, there is an Author Talk group. You can go and follow us over there to check out. You can engage with any of us, or you can go to your favorite podcast channel streaming service and you can subscribe and follow us over there. Like Russell was saying, if you want to do that, we are very animated. Me and Valerie are animated people. Russell sometimes, but we are animated. I talk a lot with my hands. I have no poker face, but I try. I try really hard, but don't ever play poker with me because I lose. I lose at Uno, to be honest.
So I had
Because
a
they
quick
know what's in
thought.
your cards.
Oh, I had a quick thought. We do have 14 kids between us. Because I have 4, Sandy has 4, Russell has 4, and you have 2.
Russell has 3,
I
Oh,
have
wait.
3.
Oh, I thought you had 4.
and I
No,
have
it just seems like 4 because
It
one's
just
a
seems-
Well,
mess.
I
Oh.
actually have 5 because I have a stepson. My husband has a son. So
Okay, so wait. Now I got
that
to do
makes it
math
up.
all over again, and I'm not good at math.
It makes it up though, because the 4 that you thought Russell had, Sandy actually has 5. So then that
Right.
makes it 14 because I only have 2.
Yeah.
Russell thinks I have 15, but it's okay. I roll
But
it. Some days
so-
it feels like it.
We're a big family in this Author Talk group.
Yeah,
right?
we are.
yeah, we are.
Okay, I want to talk about something that happened this weekend.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So, because it's author related, it's child book related. Valerie, and like I was saying right before the show started, this is something that all authors of small children books should use. I'm sure they stole it from someone else, so I'm sure this is a great idea to steal. Okay, so my granddaughters and my wife and my daughter, they all went to the Memorial Farmers Market this weekend.
Oh,
It
that's
was
nice.
a huge farmers market this weekend because it was really nice weather. It was packed,
Yes.
and it was packed with little kids, and
Yes.
there was 2 brothers that were selling their children's books that they had written there, and my daughter bought both of their books, and she was showing me when when she got back to her house and I was there, she was showing them to me, and they had 2 little tricks in these books because these books are at the age where you read them to the little kids, right?
Mhm.
And so there was 2 games separate than the book that are inserted into uh, each page so you can play games with the kids or the kids. It keeps the kids interest. One is there's a different story in the back with pictures, and there's one part of the picture that's on each page as you turn it, and so the kids we're wanting, if they're a certain age, want to watch that picture and find that part of the picture on each page. So that keeps their interest.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also like a little smiley face, for an example, but that's not it.
Yeah.
That's on each page. And so if your child is even younger, like my 3-year-old rascals, uh, they they were looking on each page as Katie, that's the name of my daughter, would turn the page. They're looking for that face in each picture
Mm-hmm.
and trying to be the first one to find it. So
Yeah.
they had two different games inbuilt into the book, separate than the book. They kept the children's attention as the parents read it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter loved it. And I thought, that's something I need to talk about. Now, is that something that everyone does, or is this something I just discovered that everyone does, Valerie?
I
Or
don't.
is
I
what
I
is
don't know. I
this?
haven't bought any really new children's books because my baby is 20, but but I
Yeah,
don't.
but you're in the business.
Yes, yes. I would think the closest thing to that would be like Where's Waldo, where you're looking for something, but that's not a story that is engaging. But I think that sounds relatively like a great concept because you are engaging the kids. And I'd have to think back on some of the stories I did read if there were things like that, but nothing comes to mind. And that's awesome.
Well, so because I have small children, I can
Yeah.
tell you the Bluey show, right? Which, if you are a mom of small kids or even high schoolers, because high schoolers like it, I own a lot of Bluey stuff. Not even going to lie to you. But that show has what they call an Easter egg. And what it is it's a long dog. So it's a
That's what I must be talking about,
yeah,
right?
so what it is their Easter egg is they call it a long dog because it's in Australia, right? But it's a dachshund and it's kind of hidden in every episode. And so you have to find it in every episode. And so there's like a whole Facebook group about, oh, I found the long dog in this episode and all this stuff. And so they're called Easter eggs. And so it keeps the
They're
kid
called what? Easter eggs?
yeah, they're called an Easter egg. And so what it is you know, you know how like when kids when they can reread and they're just eventually they'll get burned out of the story because they can recite the story. This is a way to keep it fun and engaging. Like, oh, okay, well, did you find the Easter egg in this one? There's a smiley face on every page, right? But it's like really muted, so it's difficult to find.
Mhm.
So there are a lot of those, but I think another way that some authors do, and it depending on the age levels, they'll insert coloring pages. So they'll have a coloring book that goes along with it, or they'll have one page in color, and the next page will be a second part of the story, but it's not in color, and it's for them to color. So then they're actively engaging throughout the story. So those are different ways to kind of keep the age level engaged. But
And
yeah.
I did do that with my last two books. I did put activity pages in there, which a lot of the parents, when they're flipping through, they do like that. And I was just thinking, Russell, I'm sure as soon as I get off this call, I'll remember like some kind of book where I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
So would you consider putting Easter eggs in your next book?
Sure, yeah, because the next book I'm doing is about a child growing up, so that would be really fun.
It just makes it fun and engaging. I mean, I don't know. Shoot on a TV show is one thing because I have to pause it to find them. I'm competitive in a sense like that. I mean, I'm not really competitive like that, but so I want to find it. You know what I'm saying? But those kinds of things are what I think is interesting.
So you were talking about the Bluey show.
Yeah, on Disney. My mom has like some toy going off, but yeah, it's on Disney Plus. Yeah, I don't even know. I set her iPad down singing like Twinkle Little Star. But the Bluey show, so it's on Disney. It's an Australian-based show, and it's relatable from a parent standpoint and a kid standpoint because it has
I love that.
My most favorite scene in this episode, and they're like 5-minute episodes, so like it just goes through it. But the mom is sitting there and the dad comes home and the mom just looks at the dad and she's like, I need 20 minutes where no one mentions my name. And you can just tell that she's like, I'm going to murder everyone in this house, And the dad's like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I get it. So then they like come up with all these games. Like my daughters have started playing like Keepy Uppy, which is like you take a balloon and it can't touch the floor. So you can go all through the house, whatever. and it can't touch the floor. If it touches the floor, then it's out, right? And so they have to get creative. The mom gets involved, the dad, and it's just different ways to interact with your kids and the imagination of a kid from like a parent's perspective and a kid's. But they have Easter eggs in each one. The long dog is in each one. And so that's what made me think of it. And so it's becoming more and more popular because that show like really expanded and just really took off. So maybe that's why. But it is genius. But flea markets or farmers markets, you guys, is what I've always said you should go to as an author, because you have people there looking for those things to support local and small businesses as authors are. So,
yeah, and just themed markets, even not necessarily like themes, like like all the holiday markets people have been having. That's what I was doing mostly, or like even things that featured just authors. Finding all these different niches that were you could fit. That is and you could be like the one person that has these cool books like Russell found.
I'm telling you, Comic Cons. If
Yes.
you're a fantasy author,
Yes, Comic-Con, yes. All those cool little niches.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where your people are. And that's what, when I go to these things, I meet people who, like, I met somebody at that one Houston book market. Somebody had just published in August, and she's like, this is my first thing to do. And I was like,
Wow.
okay. I was like, get out there and everything. But a lot of people, they're just, getting their feet wet and trying all these new things to try to get out there and market and learning. It's a big learning curve for people to try, you don't know what's going to work.
You have to be willing to put yourself out there, though. Like, the best person to take with you to anything is Sandy. Because Sandy just stands in front of the table, and I swear, if she's not, yoo-hoo, hey, over here, that girl is over at everybody else's table, talking to everybody. Like, Sandy is the network queen at any of those things.
I'm friendly.
Yeah, I like to sit behind the table, and if you come, I'll talk to you, but I'm not running after you. Like, that's not my thing. Yes. So Sandy is great at that. But I've mentioned it on here before, and I feel like the author came on the show. I don't know how I've engaged with this author. I can't remember her name, but it was genius in what she said. She writes children's books, right? So you need to get in front of like moms and grandparents and all that. So she goes to romance events, like romance author events.
I remember this. That she said that was this year.
Yeah, and she like made it. She like totally made out because she was in front of her target market. She was the only kids book there, and I was like, man, that truly is genius to do. I never would have thought of positioning a children's author at a romance event, but that really is where your target market is. Like, oh my god,
and no competition.
Yeah,
and Amy, that's what you used to tell. We used to tell people all the time. You've got to get creative when it comes and think outside the box. You want to think about your target market. Because if you just go where all the other authors go, then your book's going to be one of all the other books, and you just have to hope that somebody sees yours and likes it. But if you go where, as in that case, no other children's book author is there, but all the people that read these books have children, and they get, they want to be able to read their book.
Or they have grandchildren.
Give them a book to read.
Even better. And that's what I tell some of these people when I meet them. I'm like, like the people who are new to these events, I was like, you need to find your people. When you find your people, then you're going to be great. Like they have events at breweries, or they have events at, like holiday markets, or they have whatever it is. When you find your people, that's where you're going to do great. And then like going out of the box, like you said, the romance author, that's Gina, being smart about it.
I know. And I keep bringing it up because a part of me is pissed at myself because I didn't think outside of the box like that. And then the other part of me is like, damn, that's a really good idea. Like, that's genius to do. And so I feel like everybody just needs to think outside the box, right? And
but
I was like,
Amy, you can steal the idea. We talked.
I know. I don't know. I mean, I wish I remember who told me that so I could give them credit and like a total shout out, because it is at the what is it? It's Book Lovers Con, which is a romance Comic-Con, or not Comic-Con, but a romance convention that happens in Houston. And like, that's where this lady was, but I can't remember her name. And
they have those everywhere. They have those for mystery writers. They have those for everybody. So if if you're a children's book author, go where these people probably have children. But if you're not a children's book author, like Russell writes mysteries, then going to some of these conferences. Which ones would you go to, Russell? Do you think? We know there's a mystery writers conference. You could go to that, but again, all the mystery writers will be there. So where would you go that you would stand out and be the only one?
Well, number one, we know that I'm not a conference guy,
I
right?
know, I know.
I'm not
But
a conference
you're good
guy.
at doing the research and knowing about all of them and telling us about them.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that I don't know. You caught me off guard, and I don't quite know where I would go.
Yeah, and I don't
It's
either.
it's
That's
just
why
not as genius as the children's author going to. I think a children's author could sell their books at any of these conventions because 80% of the readers are women,
Yeah.
and most of those people are older, so they either have children or grandchildren. So I would think not children's con- conventions or children's book conventions, but these romance and these mystery, that's where they should go. I'm just a little bit preoccupied with that.
yeah, because there is Mystery Writers of America. There's
Right.
one for women mystery authors. I forgot the name of that one. But there's so many conferences and so many organizations. You can find one. If you
I mean,
really want to
Comic
go
Cons would
somewhere.
be great for Russell. I
I
mean, even
Which
think
though
one?
it's not fantasy, Comic Cons would be good.
I think the best place for me to market, yeah, I'm convinced, is on Amazon with the algorithms. When, as you know, because I'm obsessed with it,
Mhm.
when because there's a percentage of readers out there, 99% of which are women, which on a particular day uh, buy more than one book because they're buying their books for the week or the month. And you won't, that's when you want to appear when they're buying their books.
Mm-hmm.
And so you want to be participate in the algorithms of where they buy the book. So when they buy the first book, your book pops up and says, "You, if you like that book, you might like this book."
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Russell? That's true. So me and Dina had a gift exchange this weekend. It was on Friday, and Dina has this group. It's a group, and it's called Badass Book Bitches. And so our Christmas exchange was Bitchmas is what it was because it's the group, right? And so Dina has read 146 books this year as of Friday. One of the girls in the group has read 346 books this year. So some of those are audiobooks, some of those are like her reading, but that's a total, right? And that's two women that have read primarily that amount of book. And I'm over here like I think I've only read like 56, you know?
By the way, 56 is like 10 times more than almost everyone else. So don't denigrate that you've
Well,
read
56 is a
56
lot.
just compared to
That is a
them,
lot.
no,
right?
I know, but what I'm saying is that those are the two women that I know that have read the most books this year, just probably in my entire lifetime. And they're women, right? Which feeds into what you're saying. And they're always looking for new books. The 56 of mine, I mean, like 20 of those are going to be client books. And then the rest is going to be ones Dina's roped me into or recommendations that I've had. Because I read like 3 or 4 books at a time. I listen to one audiobook while I'm reading a book. But it is primarily women because, and Russell, I don't know if you're like this. So I asked Josh the other day, right? I was just curious what kind of books he reads. Because to get into the mind of Josh, for those that don't know, is my husband is just sometimes it's fascinating. Other times I'm like, I don't understand. Okay.
Plus, he's a hardworking engineer, is how you describe Josh. He's a
Yes.
hardworking engineer.
Yes, he is a very hardworking engineer and he has the mind of an engineer. And I have the mind of a
Yes.
psychologist. So we're polar opposites.
Psychopath.
Yeah. So polar opposites, right? But he really enjoys very thought provoking, right? Like like self-help kind of like and I don't even know if embetterment is a word, but you know, makes you better, really makes you question and think about things from different perspectives, all of those kinds of deep books, very deep thinking books. They're mostly nonfiction. And I'm over here. Is that you, Russell?
No,
Oh,
I'm betting that he's read 5 books this year or under.
it's Thunder for sure.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
men don't read. Only
no.
women read. It's a
Yeah, and
thing.
that's what feeds my point. But men primarily, I mean, I don't know, not primarily. I do know one that'll read like romance books, but primarily are going to read like those kinds of books, like Jocko. Josh loves Jocko, right? How to be a better leader. All of those are like his kinds of books. Where I'm over here, like I want really like psychological screw me up for a couple days where I'm just like, what did I read? How did
Yes.
you come about? That's what I want. If there's like murder involved in that, even better. Okay.
Right.
Like
Yes.
I
I'm
mean, I'm a reader. It's just that for me to find another man that's a reader is very, very rare.
it's hard. Well, that reads something similar to yours, right? Because Josh
Well,
is
nobody reads. Yeah, that's nobody.
I don't know. I mean, Josh might like what did you studied what is it? Stoicism? What is that?
Yeah, stoicism.
There you go. I can never
Yes,
like
yes.
he
And
would
by the
probably like
way, he actually believes a lot of that.
I know.
So
He
he
would
would actually
probably
like
like
it under Marcus Aurelius.
yeah, see, he would probably like that where I'm like, I can't I don't know. My mind's not like where I just want to
You
have
would like it
deep
too.
conversations. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But it's just different. It shows the difference. So like I would say nonfiction, like those kinds of books are geared towards men, right?
Mhm.
And then everything else under the umbrella is women because women read it all. So
Right.
it's
Women read all of it. Self-improvement, everything.
yeah, we don't really care. Like we'll read it, we'll test the waters. And so like I don't know. I guess I had always known that, but when I had talked to Josh, it really made that click for me. And it was like, wow, I've read like 5 times the books that you've read this year.
Yes.
And then
Right.
it didn't click to me until then. So
And
yeah.
I want to make a point. It goes along with what you said. I was talking about Proust or something that I'd read uh, with a friend of mine. Actually, the guy that I fashioned O.C. Sims, the protagonist in my books
Hmm.
by, and he asked me why I read literature. And I'm talking about great literature like Dostoevsky, that sort of
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I said, because it makes me smarter. It makes me think. It makes me smarter. And he
Yeah.
just looked at me. And that's why I think everybody should, number one, read something, because I also read shoot 'em up sci-fi as trash
Yes.
to
Yes.
rest my brain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't think I just read one thing. I actually my version of romance is shoot 'em up sci-fi.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You
I
know,
like it.
Mhm.
we all have that sort of thing. But
Yeah.
uh, it's important to read. If you read, you will be smarter. It's
Yes.
just the way it is.
And I agree with the variety. Like in college, we had William S. Burroughs, Charles Bukowski. All
William
the
S.
things.
Burroughs. Oof,
What else? All
for
the
good.
was it John Sinclair? All those things. And I even did Anna Karenina and all these things. It
Anna
challenges you.
Karenina. Let's
Yes.
go.
And I don't know if I finished it because it was quite large, but
Oh
It's a
yeah.
very large
Um,
book.
yeah, but I was like, I need to challenge myself to read all these different genres because then you get into the mind of the author, like in the storytelling vibe about what is happening and how the thought process of the storytelling. It's just it's fascinating.
Yeah.
So I love it.
I can see that. But Valerie, you were talking about because Russell, you mentioned literature, right? And I don't know why, but to me, like William Shakespeare falls underneath that. I don't know why. I'm probably
yeah, this because it's the greatest of all.
not probably, but
The greatest.
it's one of those things. But Valerie, you were telling us the story that you got to do. You got to actually see some of the pages, so you have to
Yes, it was
retell that story because I know Russell probably has questions.
it was a very, very long
Yeah.
time
Don't
ago.
touch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to remember why it was, but I was doing a feature for the Houston Chronicle, and somehow I got invited to come to the Rice University Library, and there was a special room where they had just like little like I guess I don't know, say archived items, and some of it was like pages from William Shakespeare, like encased, and they had gloves and everything, and they're showing them to you. You're like, for real? This is the for real thing, and it was pretty amazing because it was like a special little locker thing, and I was like, privileged to be back here first of all, and they're showing me this stuff, and I was just writing a feature story, but I don't know. It's just that's a cool part of being a writer, getting to see things that other people might not see, and then you can use those experiences to put in something else. But it was the fact that it still existed, the written word still existed and impacts all of us today, and that it was there and it was touchable if you had gloves or whatever, but it was encased in special preservation material. But that was the most fascinating thing to me.
That's a great story, Val. I wonder how Rice got. I mean, how do universities get that?
I don't know. It wasn't very many.
It's really simple. It's money.
Yeah,
they buy it.
But it was a very long time ago, and I mean, it was a very long time ago. But I don't know. I was writing about so many things back then, feature writing.
Yeah.
So
those things are fascinating.
Yeah.
See, I think it's cool. See, and I was not a really big reader probably until Sandy started working exclusively with authors, and then I would read some of them. Because when you hear authors talk, right, like when we hear Russell talk about his books, they just sound freaking awesome, right? Mm-hmm. So you're like, I got to go read that. And then when we interview all these authors and they have these books, and you're like, well, shit, my book keeps getting long. My list of books to read, my TBR. You're just like, there's no way I'm going to get through these. But
and the thing is, you want to read them. It's like I feel like I'm missing out if I don't get to read this or this, which is why, Amy, you were saying the audible. I do an audio book. I do a paper book. I do all these things. Yeah. I'm constantly like, it's I love it because I have FOMO. I'm sorry.
Well, there's sometimes. So Dina has me reading, and she's already finished the 60 book series. Okay, that's Dina, but she's already read them. So I've never read the J.D. Robb In Death series. And so I'm reading them for the first time. So I'm actually full on reading them where she skims over, the romantic scenes because she's already read them. She reads them every year. And so I started putting them on audiobook. So I'll have them on audiobook and then I'll be reading another book while I'm listening to it. Because sometimes those books can get a little dark sometimes. So if I feel like if I double dip I don't know. And it, to me, I feel like it strengthens my mind in multitasking. Kind of thing. And so I'm like, oh, the challenge of doing kind of like ice plunging, right? Where it's kind of just like it's 5 minutes of my day. And if I can do this and I've conquered like a big ass part of my day. Right?
Is that the biggest change this year in your life? Would you describe it as your daily ice plunge? I mean, I know it's minor and it's stupid, but it's big at the same time because it's so dramatic.
It's the hardest. It's the hardest thing, I would say. Mentally, it's the hardest thing that I've probably encountered. I mean, there's other like harder things that I've done this year. But I think mentally challenging wise would be that. Yeah.
What do you get out of it? Tell the listeners what you get out of it.
It's so weird to describe. I feel like only Russell's going to get it. But like,
no.
When you're standing
weird
there,
people listen to our show. This is a weird show for weird people. If you're listening to this show, you're a reader, you're smart, you're weird, and that's cool.
Well,
so that's cool.
I think it's, when you're standing there and you can see how cold the water is, and of course, naturally, you stuck your hand in it and you're like, this is cold, right? So you stuck your hand and you're like, okay, and you have to like take a deep breath and you have to just mentally dig deep. And you're like, it's 5 minutes. You can do this. If you can make it past the 30 seconds and you don't hyperventilate, you can do this, right? Like, I have to psych myself up. But when I finish it and I accomplish it, then I'm like, wow, like, I mentally just did that. Like, physically, I got in the water. But I feel like most things are mental. Like, you can create mental blocks for yourself where you don't do things. Same as, like, writer's block. And so, for me, pushing through that block and actually doing that is, for me, I don't know. It's satisfying to be like, wow, I really like broke that wall when I do that.
Does that help you then for the next time?
No, it doesn't, because Josh plays with the temperature. So like Josh does it more frequently than I do. Like since we've moved, I probably do it like once or twice a week. So he does it more frequently. So when he builds up his own tolerance to it, he'll lower it. So I just do it. But for him, it's different. So when you do it and you sit in there for 5 minutes or so, then you come out, depending on your temperature of your water, your body pretty much feels like it's thawing out from the inside out, right? So you're thawing out. And so that's a really uncomfortable feeling. And so you have to come to terms with, hey, I'm going to feel uncomfortable for a little bit. And you have to let your body naturally warm up, which is hard. So for me, I do it right before I got to go do something. So like if I need to go grocery shopping or I need to go and get something and I have to like drive and then walk around and stuff, it's easier to do than just being at home. Because I'll just go get a warm shower. I'm not even going to lie to you and be like, I'm going to get a warm shower. But
you know what, Amy, that's making you stronger to be the room mother for all those volunteer things you signed up for.
Yeah.
No, nothing helps doing that. That's just stupidity.
That's just dealing with people. But I mean, I would say like it's the mental challenge of it every day. And then when I accomplish it, I'm like, wow, like my mental strength is there. Like it still is there. It hasn't weakened. Right. Yeah. So I get enjoyment out of that. And it helps me kind of decompress my like emotions and my stress and just recenter me, which I know sounds really, woohoo or whatever, but like it just helps me center and then I can go back. Yeah. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, you got to reset.
Yeah.
Because then you're just focused on your wellness.
I know that, because after you told me about it, I tried just turning on just the cold water in the shower.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot imagine being down in it.
When you get out of the ice plunge and it's like, it's like 42 and you get out and then you get a cold shower. I mean, that feels kind of warm compared to where you were, So it's like, it works out. But I mean, yeah, I also had to do it for health reasons. Like Josh had built it and he was doing it. And I hold the record in the longest time in there, which brings me satisfaction, to be honest, because I've been in there for 11 minutes. Josh can't do 11 minutes. So it's great. I love that. It means I'm mentally stronger than him, which makes me happy.
Yes.
So, but I am over time, you guys, and I'm getting the stink eye from Russell. So I will say for me personally, I wish everybody a Merry Christmas, a happy holidays. We will be back before the new year, but if you're not listening to us until the new year, a happy new year. I'm grateful for all of the people on here, which is why today was a Christmas special, because I wanted to spend the week of Christmas with you guys, that we are not in person and not necessarily interview another author. But that is, that's where I'm holding out.
Happy Festivus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Have a great week, you guys, and we will see you all next Monday. Bye for now, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.